Thank you and welcome back. This is Eggs54 coming with you again with more Dragon Age Inquisition Online. And as promised from my first video, I will be discussing today the Arcane Mage. And like the end of the Reaver video, we'll look more at the tech tree at the end of it, and let's see if we can just jump right into it. Oh, looks like we can. Now, a little bit about the Arcane Warrior while we're waiting for the game to load. Oh, no, gotta wait on these two guys. Some people. Not gonna lie, usually if a leader's not paying attention, I tend to walk away. Before I forget, I gotta do my potion. Jar of bees. You always want to equip your potions before your next fight. They do not automatically re-equip for you. You do have to go in there and do it yourself because sometimes it does it, sometimes it does not, but you don't want to be in the beginning of a full-length match with just no potions at all. Oh no, I don't want to run it. Having a little trouble getting a match started today. Ah, join. See if these guys are on board. Not gonna lie, I feel like I'm gonna keep bouncing back and forth between games to try to get one that I can get going in. So I was excited about jumping right into this. I always do random because I feel like it gives me a better chance to get into a game that's either ready to go or already in progress. Oh, 3 out of 4 this time. See if the Reaver wakes up. See, that actually wasn't that bad. I've actually usually had to wait a lot longer. Now, while the game loads, let's go over some of the finer points of the Arcane Warrior. The Arcane Warrior is a mage. However, it is a mage that also acts as a tank and can rely on melee moves. In Dragon Age Origins, the first game, the Arcane Warrior actually, in my opinion, was a very overpowered class. It could use its magic as strength. And essentially, by that point, if you're a mage, you have like a ton of points put into your magic and your willpower. The more points in those two, the stronger you were. As well, upgrading your abilities, you could literally have a passive armor on all the time that did very little to your mana drain. So on top armor, the Arcane Warrior is almost unstoppable.
Why are we talking? My sword arm's getting twitchy.
Now the Arcane Warrior here has more of a mage application to it. I believe because the character itself actually has their own backstory. So the elf we play here is actually someone who left their clan to study the Arcane Warrior, if I recall reading it correctly. And I think we're against Venatori? Do you let everything go, love?
I'll give it a go.
Come on, give it a go. Give it your best shot. Let's go.
Your chantry goes belly up, the Inquisition steps in. Always something to keep the sane people in
Impressive.
Alright, you don't want to loot that? Alright, I'll loot it. Ooh, an item. It's always a good thing when you get item.
Incredible.
I feel like we can look at crafting in another episode. Ooh, Venatori. So as you can see, the keeper has regular practices as a mage.
Look.
You know, using normal spells, things like that. By glance alone, you wouldn't be able to tell that this is any different from like a regular mage. However,
You know this Inquisition?
this character here actually specializes in taking more damage than other classes, or at least other mage classes. It is a tank among the mage group. Basically, it has, in its skill tree set, there are several abilities designed for this character to take damage. as well as an awesome melee ability called the Spectral Blade. This is probably the most unique move to the Arcane Warrior, and there are actually several abilities that will enhance this. The Spectral Blade itself can actually be upgraded to reflect incoming objects, that which I don't have at the moment. Aside from that, in moving about, the Arcane Warrior does act as a normal mage. Uses a staff, you want to focus on those type of abilities, but it also has access to abilities that the Rift Mage in the single player does, such as the Stone Fist and the Veil Strike. Stone Fist is excellent against single targets. And actually, the Arcane Warrior is excellent against other mages and demons. This ability right here, oh, you already got him. The Spectral Blade actually helps eliminating barriers and armor from targets.
I once dreamed of
If we run into those in one of these runs, I'll be more than happy to display it. But even so, it's freaking cool. Look at that. There's just about no cooldown, and you can use it as a normal strike. So you could essentially make this character around that one ability. Not really recommended. You always want to have a little bit of variety when you make characters.
What took you so long? I nearly died. Do you even
Thankfully,
know
the script we're running with right now is helpful as all heck.
the Ambassador Montilier?
Let's go. Boom! So I'm talking about the Stone Fist Strike. Very heavy projectile move that actually stuns and knocks down opponents. And if the opponent is already stunned, it can actually do more damage. Apologize for that. Oh, awesome. Spiders. Love spiders. I don't really love spiders. Get them away from me. Send help. I'll be a good guy and open the chest. Oh. Yeah, that's another bad thing, too, of the projectiles in this game. The enemies, if they're in constant motion, have a chance to avoid it completely. Now, when we get to a group of units here, or when this Veil Strike cooldown lifts up, I'll be happy to show you what it does. It's actually a very nice, like, stunning pulsing that doesn't really harm enemies, but it slows them down and even stops them. Like, let's try it on this marksman right here. As you can see, it stuns him, flattens him out, and actually makes it a lot easier. He takes more damage in that state. And thankfully, if we have other mage users in the group, as you saw right there, my Stone Fist had a shatter effect on the people encased in ice. It's a very useful ability, especially then when you can close in like this and use your Veil Strike. Or your Spectral Blade, I apologize. Now, unfortunately, because I'm only using the base weapon, the Inquisition staff, a lot of my spells are very weak.
Lady Ambassador.
However, I'm hoping... I know eventually I'll get a stronger staff, whether I make it or find it. I actually opened up a chest earlier.
I know.
I was in the store, and I bought something with gold earned from my missions. Very nice new bow on the next video we'll see. Next class I intend to do is the Archer.
Killing everything. Perfect.
The best way I've found to use the Arcane Warrior in things like this, I try to use the Veil Strike to try to crowd control a bit. There's a great example right here. I'm able to take those two guys down, they're a little surprised, they take a couple hits, and my teammates are able to swoop in and clean house. Ooh, I get to do something! Dispel barrier! The time the Arcane Warrior really shines is when dealing with stuff like that. The Arcane Horror right here. Oh, he's gonna hurt me. As you can see, the Spectral Blade does double the damage, almost triple than it was doing on the other units. Against demons, spirits, and other magic-like creatures, the Arcane Warrior is the absolute best to use. So in a demon level, when you encounter a lot of those pride demons who like to heavy up on armor, the Spectral Blade cuts right through that. And I really wish we were dealing with that right now, just so I can have a better way to show you. Oh. Like here, try to help my teammate out. Boom, see? With my face, mostly. But because I have a lot of points divvied up into different stats... Excuse me. Sorry about that. A little tickle on my throat. Cold season around here. I put a lot of points into statistics, passives, things like that, just so that I could focus more on having fewer abilities, but make them stronger by the passives that I unlock. I take more hits than any mage will. I reflect damage back better than them. It's a great combination of spellcaster and melee warrior, because then I pop out with...
I see one over there.
And that shatter effect right there can't be beat. Unfortunately, the Spectral Blade does fall under... wow, I keep calling it Spectral. It's actually the Spirit Blade. The Spirit Blade does fall under the same weakness that a melee weapon does. It can be blocked. Characters with... well, enemies, I should say, with enough defense can actually block the blade. Which, a lot of it actually depends on your statistics as well. Oh, and what we're looking for is right here, so I'm going to at least try... See, I'm actually going to be taking a lot of hits right here because I want to get this objective before we forget about it.
We have what we want. We should leave. But we still...
Unfortunately, I'm put into a situation while recording that I won't be able to reach out for the help that I need, considering I mute the in-game microphones. So that just means I have to be doubly aware. However, please don't forget, communication is very key, especially when you want to coordinate unique classes such as the Reaver, the Arcane Warrior, and others that I'll be going over in different videos.
Did anyone try that ham they had at camp yesterday?
And now we're actually coming up to the final part, and we'll be able to see how well the Arcane Warrior works on a boss. Now, I'm pretty sure we went over how the best method to do this in my Reaver video, but one person goes out to places a banner, the rest of them sit here, and we funnel damage through the door. And it's really rare that anything goes wrong with the one guy out there, unless they try to, you know, gung-ho the whole thing. Which I really hope he's not doing. No, he's like his way back here. One thing about the Venatori Commander is that it's actually a mage. So as you can see right here, as I said that, she put up a barrier around herself, which adds for better protection. My ability will cut through that barrier like nothing. So as soon as she shows her face, it's on. But the brutes are on their way in first. She actually was a little slow, apparently. The main abilities, like I went over before, you're looking at your Stone Fist, your Veil Strike, and your Spirit Blade. Stone Fist, and when you upgrade it, will actually work great on small groups, because the debris from Stone Fist will actually stun and weaken guys around you. So when you're funneling guys through this right here, that's where it becomes even more helpful, because you are mainly AoE right there. AoE stands for Area of Effect for people who aren't aware of it, don't play a lot of heavy RPGs or things like that. Oh, someone already took down a barrier and I can't do it myself now. Oh crap, she's like hurting. Take that, Stone Fist! Lightning strike!
Die!
Oh, there she is. Watch, right here. Boom! Barrier gone in 3 hits. That is such an amazing thing because with the barrier down, now my Reaver can go in and go to town on her. Am I in Guck? I'm in Gook. Oh. Oh crap, that's going. Gotta get away, gotta get away. I put myself in a difficult situation. And for a group effort, Venatori Commander is now down. I'm not saying that a lot of credit should go to me. This is actually a very well handled group. We all seem to know what we're doing. We all have a role, and we're all pretty. No one's going for glory.
Our agents performed exceptionally on this last outing. You should be proud.
As long as you have a great group, you should never have to worry about failing a mission. There will be times where, especially on tougher bosses, I consider the Templar Commander to be a lot harder than the Venatori Commander. Especially since Templars have a lot of abilities that stun you, knock you down, and for some reason the Templar Shades are a lot more deadlier than the Venatori Stalkers. Stalkers and, well, I think they're both Stalkers. Those Stalkers are the ones with, like, the rogues. They'll go for the instant kills. I got a couple cool items. We did not level, though. So that's a bit of a downer. We're going to conclude this video by taking a look at both trees that is offered by the Arcane Warrior. First one being the Mentalism. Now, Mentalism... Did I say that right? Oh, console. Fuck off. Yup, Mentalism. Now, as you can see here, Spirit Blade is pretty much the stronger your weapon is, the more damage it'll do, and it shows you right here. It is a specialized item against barriers and guards. Very, very useful on any level. But the Venatori and the Spirits are more akin to use barriers than the Templars will. Templars will use a lot more guard, especially on the Commander. And as you can see here, what I've developed, increase in armor, increase in constitution, and pretty much enemies that attack me will get hit back. I don't have a lot of points into the passive skills here, but I do have it centered around that I want to keep my mana consistent, I want to keep my health consistent, and I want to keep my defense up there. Perfect example right here. If there's a barrier around me, this one just makes it better. Pretty much extra health bar for me, and the Guardian Spirit Bearer actually comes around me as I'm wounded. Very, very handy. And now you're going to notice that I invested most of my points here. Rejuvenating Barrier was a must to get down the tree, but still very helpful. Not only does it give me increased mana regeneration, but my allies around me, if they have a barrier, it helps them as well. Disturbance of Spirits, pretty much the more offensive I am with my spells, it'll weaken my enemies, which will actually help my team out. Now, as you get lower, you'll notice that there aren't a lot of offensive abilities higher up on the tree. They're all pretty much at the bottom where you have to continuously level. Thankfully, oops, sorry about that. Thankfully for me, I was able to get the Veil Strike and the Stone Fist. Stone Fist I'm particularly fond of because it is a very heavy striking attack. As you can see, 500% extra weapon damage. And what I have here is actually it'll explode on impact and hurt enemies around me, or around the point of impact. But the higher you are on this tree, or I guess the lower when you're looking it down, you get the stronger spells. The Stormbringer, the Static Charge, and Pull of the Abyss, which is actually like a miniature version of the, I guess the Rift in Dragon Age Inquisition unlocks in single player. But basically, that is the Arcane Warrior. In a nutshell, it's a mage tank, a very powerful one if raised correctly. I wish I had a stronger staff so I could show off more of its complementing powers. However, I will have to end it there, and I do thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to check out the next video I intend to do, which more than likely will be my archer. We'll also eventually get into crafting, inventory, different kinds of potions, and how the store works out pretty much. But thanks everybody for watching. I hope you like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment if there's any questions you have, or maybe you want to see some more classes or anything in particular. Thanks for watching.